When Cash first stepped onto the chilling crime scene, it looked like a robbery had turned violent. But as they dug deeper, a trail of damning evidence quickly shattered that theory. On May 11th, 2022, a woman by the name of Caitlin Cash made a disturbing 911 call.
Austin 911, do you need police, fire department, EMS, or mental health services?
I need EMS.
Okay, stay on the line just 1 moment.
Ambulance. Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
My friend is staying with me, and I just walked in, and she's laying on the bathroom floor, and there's blood everywhere. And I don't know what happened. I can't tell what happened.
Okay, I'll tell you what to do. I just need to gather a little bit more information. What's your name?
My name is Caitlin.
Caitlin, are you with her now?
Yes, I'm with her now.
Okay. Is she awake?
She's not awake. There's blood all over her face
Caitlin.
and all on the back of her head.
Is she breathing?
No, she's not breathing.
Okay, I'm getting help started right now, and then I'm going to tell you exactly what to do, okay?
Okay.
If there's a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it.
There's not. I'm just in my house.
Okay. Listen carefully. Are you right by her now, Caitlin?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Lay her flat on her back on the floor and
Yes.
remove anything under her head. Let me know when that's done.
Yeah, there's nothing under her head. It's still there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen carefully. I'm going to tell you how to do chest compressions, Caitlin. Place the heel of your hand on the breastbone, then pump the chest hard and fast at least twice per second and 2 inches deep. Okay? Count out loud so I can count with you.
Right between the breastbone?
Exactly.
Okay.
And then just pump hard and fast and then count out loud so I can count with you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Good.
7, 8.
Keep going.
9, 23, 24.
That's good, Caitlin. Keep that up.
26, 30, 31. Her brain is leaking. Her brain.
Okay, Caitlin, I understand that, but keep going.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 24, 25, 26.
Keep going, Caitlin. There's a lot of help coming as fast as they can. Keep going.
I think she's throwing up. Yeah, it's to the side.
Okay, if it's inside her mouth, turn her to her side to clean out her mouth and nose. Do it real quick, and then we're going to lay her right back down and continue compressions.
Yep. Okay.
Keep going, Caitlin. There might be a police officer coming in soon. That's okay. Don't leave her alone and don't stop.
I hear them.
Okay, that's good. Keep going. Don't leave her alone. They'll come to you. Just keep going.
Okay, I'm not going to leave her. It's the back house. They have to come in the back alley.
Yeah, we've let them know that.
27, 28, 29.
Keep going, Caitlin. Don't stop. Keep going. You're doing good. Keep going.
Do I stop? I don't know.
Yeah.
When officers arrived at the scene, they noticed something chilling. A clear fluid, later identified as cerebrospinal fluid, or CSF, slowly pooling on the floor. This fluid protects and surrounds the brain, meaning the unthinkable had happened. The bullet had pierced her skull, ending her life instantly. There was nothing anyone could do to save her, but there was still a chance to bring her killer to justice. For that, officers needed answers and fast. And the only person who could provide them was Cash, the sole witness to this horrifying crime.
Do you know if she's talking to anyone or any friends? I know you say you don't doesn't live here.
Yeah, I knew she was with her friend Colin.
Colin, Colin's last.
They went swimming.
Okay.
She's staying with me. I'm really close with her family. Okay.
Did you see a gun or anything like that in there when you were
Why
in
is
there?
there a bullet
Ring.
casing out of
Oh, what's up phone number here?
Colin. You said Colin
Strickland?
Strickland. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you know where Colin Strickland is or anything?
No,
like
but I
that?
have his phone number. I can call him. Or I can give you his phone
No,
number.
we'll get all that information from you. You said so. She went swimming with Colin Strickland.
Swimming. I left to go have dinner with my friends, and then I came back. And this is my house.
That's your house.
This is my house. She's staying with me.
Do you know where they went swimming at?
No, I don't know where they went swimming.
When was the last time you spoke with her?
When I left here at 5:30.
Are you guys friends? You and him are friends, or
I mean, like acquaintances.
What car he drives?
I don't know what car he drives. He's a cyclist.
a cyclist? Does
Yeah.
he live in this area?
He lives in South Austin.
So according to Cash, Moriah had been with Colin, her ex-boyfriend, all day and was home only a few minutes before she was found dead. This made Colin a major person of interest that the cops would interview later on, but for now, there are more pressing matters. It turns out Moriah was in town for a bike race and had brought along with her $114,000 racing bike. And as the cops would soon find out, that bike was missing.
That's her bike cover, yeah.
So where would the bike be?
Probably there.
Does she keep the bike in the garage, or where does she keep the bike at?
So she's renting right with this first unit right here. This is her vehicle. And these are her landlords.
So this bike cover is the
yeah.
So where would her bike be at? Where would she keep her bike at?
I mean, it would be right inside the door.
Is there a bike? Anywhere? You see a bike? She said she would put it right by the door. No bike. That's negative, Jobs.
With no trace of the bike in the house, officers decided to begin searching the woods nearby, when they discovered the bike abandoned in the bushes.
Hey, come here. Somebody might be in here. This might be the bike. Okay. All right. Over there. At 432, I located the bike.
This discovery changed everything. It suggested that this wasn't a robbery gone wrong. Instead, the killer may have had other motives, deliberately hiding the bike to stage the scene and mislead investigators. Officers wasted no time collecting evidence from the scene, focusing on the most critical clue, the bullet shell casings. Now, it was a matter of finding that gun and the shooter. At first, investigators couldn't rule anyone out, not even Cash. To determine her innocence, they brought her back to the station for a key test. Officers performed a GSR, or gunshot residue, test on her hands to see if she had fired a gun recently. The result? Negative. With this, officers eliminated her as a suspect and turned their focus elsewhere. Fortunately, Cash provided a critical piece of information. The last person to see Moriah alive was Colin Strickland. Investigators learned that the two had spent time together at a nearby cafe, sharing drinks. This revelation made Colin a key figure in the investigation. Before interviewing Colin, investigators noticed something promising in the neighborhood. Several homes had CCTV cameras installed. As they reviewed the footage, they found something shocking. A black Jeep was captured driving directly toward Cash's home, where Moriah was staying that night. Moments after the Jeep arrived, a Ring camera recorded the gut-wrenching sound of Moriah's final moments. A few days later, officers made another startling discovery. When they arrived to question Colin Strickland, Moriah's ex-boyfriend and the last person to see her alive, they spotted a black Jeep parked outside his home. It was an exact match to the one captured on security footage, right down to the bicycle rack on the rear. With this new connection, Colin instantly became their prime suspect, but he had no idea.
Colin, is that the first name? Yes. Hey, so, do you know Anna? Mo.
Anna Mo.
Yeah, everybody calls her Mo.
Last name is Wilson.
Rider, she's a
yes.
gravel rider.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Apparently last night she passed away.
How did
And right now it's an open investigation, but it is being investigated as a homicide.
Okay. It's wild. Sorry.
No.
And we went to Deep Eddy yesterday afternoon, and then Big Burger, and I dropped her at the apartment she's been staying at.
As police delved deeper into Colin's life and his connection to Moriah, they uncovered a critical detail. Colin had a girlfriend, Caitlin Armstrong. The two had briefly broken up in October 2021, during which Colin had a week-long romantic affair with Moriah. Even after Colin and Caitlin reconciled later, he stayed in touch with Moriah, something Caitlin reportedly despised. This revelation immediately put Caitlin on the radar as a potential suspect. That suspicion only grew stronger when officers ran the plates of the black Jeep captured on CCTV. To their surprise, the vehicle didn't belong to Colin. It was registered to Caitlin. With tensions between Caitlin and Moriah already apparent, and Caitlin's connection to the black Jeep, officers now had a compelling reason to consider her a major suspect in this unfolding investigation. To get to the bottom of things, officers brought Colin in for questioning 2 days after the murder. This interview had two key objectives. First, they needed to determine if Colin had a solid alibi. After all, whether innocent or guilty, he was the last person to see Moriah alive. Second, they hoped to gather information that could be used to investigate other suspects, particularly Caitlin.
Has Caitlin ever gotten so mad in the past that, not necessarily thinking that she would do anything, but I mean, has she ever threatened anything, or?
She's always seemed like such a gentle person.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can say. Just being very disturbing. I really love her. I just have been not convinced that there's that I'm want to be like life partners with her. I want to kind of feel like we'd be better business partners and friends.
Colin, knowing Caitlin's vehicle is there, what do you think took place?
I can't imagine.
I'm asking you what you think. Is she capable of doing something like this?
I wouldn't be living with a person who I think is capable of doing this. I would never, in a million years, have someone in the house with my mother who I think is capable of this. So the answer is no. I don't believe it. That's my perspective of the world.
After questioning Colin, officers achieved their goal. First, they were able to clear him. His texts and timestamps backed up his alibi. But more importantly, they gathered crucial information about Caitlin. The night of the murder, Colin had spoken with Caitlin, but he couldn't provide a solid alibi for her, and her movements that night remained completely unaccounted for. Now, out of the three main suspects, Colin, Cash, and Caitlin, only Caitlin's whereabouts were still a mystery. This raised red flags for the investigators, but without concrete evidence, they couldn't arrest her, yet. That's when a breakthrough came. A search through the police database revealed something unexpected. Caitlin Armstrong had an outstanding warrant. It was the perfect excuse to bring her in, and now the cops had a reason to question her about Moriah's death.
So my partner is actually talking to Colin right now. So I wanted to come in here and start chatting with you and everything so you don't have to wait super long. So it sounds like you may have some information, may have witnessed something, so I just wanted to chat with you about some stuff. But you're here for a warrant right now, I guess. Are you familiar with what you have going on with that?
I have no idea.
Okay, so I guess it was like a theft of service warrant, something kind of minor. Nothing. Okay. So that's why you're here. You've got a theft of service warrant. That's why you got picked up today and everything, so I was just letting you know on that part. But
can you give me any information on what you're talking about?
As far as the warrant or as far as everything else?
As far as the warrant.
Yeah, so I don't know too much. I guess it's just a theft of service. Usually that's like something like didn't pay for something pretty minor. My understanding is a Class B. So
I don't know what that means.
So it's just like so a Class C would be like a ticket offense, and then a Class B is just like one step up. So,
okay.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of details on that.
The Class B warrant alleges that Caitlin did not pay for her $650 Botox treatment. After her Botox treatment was completed, Caitlin presented her MasterCard but said she had another card in her vehicle that she would rather use. She apparently left her MasterCard on the counter, walked out of the spa, and never returned to pay.
But that's, I guess, why you got arrested for the warrant portion of it, okay?
Okay.
So
can you tell me what it was that was the theft of service?
I can look. I'm not sure what it is at this point, but I can look that up later and get you a little bit more information on that for sure, because I'm not sure about that part of it, okay? But because you are here and because you were under arrest for that portion of it, we always have to read Miranda and stuff because I want to talk to you about some other stuff that's unrelated to that. But first, let me get your full name real quick.
It's Kaitlin. And I'm sorry, if I have an existing warrant and you don't know what it's about, do I need an attorney here?
So the warrant is just a Class B, just theft of service type thing. So the reason, so you got picked up because of the warrant, right? So that was what the arrest is for. But the reason I'm here, so I don't have any part of that portion of it, okay? The reason I'm here is because your name came up during a conversation with Colin. I think there's a lot more information that you have that can kind of explain some of the stuff he's saying. So I'd like to talk to you and kind of get a little bit more information on that. But to be able to do that, I have to read you your rights, just so that you know and you're protected and things like that, okay?
Okay, and so if you're reading me my rights, then I should
That's
have
because of the
an
warrant,
attorney.
because you're under arrest for the warrant. So you're technically in custody because of that warrant. So they're two separate things. Does that make sense?
Even though the cops are currently able to detain Caitlin, one small mistake is about to give a key suspect, the one they believe might be the killer, the chance to walk away free.
I think so, but I have never heard.
So that's what they were just knocking on the door, is apparently that warrant, the date of birth was wrong. So it had your name, but the date of birth is wrong, so it's to a different person.
At this point, the detective didn't know that it was in fact the same person. But regardless, the warrant will not be valid as Caitlin's birth date was listed incorrectly.
So that's not, you're not under arrest, okay?
Okay.
I know, it's a little crazy.
Though the cop attempts to lighten the mood with her jokes, Caitlin now realizes that she's free to leave at any moment. Now it is up to this detective to convince her that opening up and talking is the right choice.
Yeah, so you're...
So they just came to my house and put me in handcuffs for no reason?
So there was a warrant that they thought was you. Because of the name, apparently the date of birth was off, okay? So there was some miscommunication on that. So, but I would really like to talk to you and clear some stuff up because Colin did bring your name up, and I think there's a lot more information that you have that can kind of clear some stuff up. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. I feel like I should have an attorney present.
But things take a sharp turn when Caitlin requests an attorney. At this point, the detective is legally required to stop all questioning. However, the detective continued persisting in her questionings. A retired police lieutenant later described the interview as a case study of how not to interview a homicide suspect. He pointed out that questioning should have ended the moment Caitlin requested a lawyer for the second time. To make matters worse, the detective never read Caitlin her Miranda rights, another serious mistake in the process.
So that's totally your choice. So at this point, you are free to leave at any point. So this is going to be consensual at this point because you're not under arrest, okay? So everything we say here, you're going to leave. You're not under arrest. You're not going to go to jail right now. Nothing like that, okay? The door is unlocked. You can leave at any time. So
I would love to leave.
You would love to leave.
Just arrested me in front of my house, in front of all of my neighbors, and carried me in here in handcuffs in front of downtown Austin. It was incredibly
I can only imagine, yeah. And I'm so sorry. I don't have control over that part, okay?
Yeah, I'm not upset with you.
Yeah. So let me kind of explain some stuff. So there's a situation that's going on. Did you hear about what's happened over the past 24 hours?
Colin walked in the house and said one of the women in the cycling community passed away.
Yes, yeah. While Colin was talking to us, your name came up. And it sounds like there's a lot of stuff that's going on, and it sounds like, Colin's been maybe talking to this girl for a little bit and kind of threw your name in there. I think there's a lot more because I think that, I think you might be saying some stuff, and I want to get your side of it, okay? Because there's always two parts of it. And so when we only hear one side, it only gives us one side to work with. Does that make sense?
I suppose, yes.
So that's where I would really like to talk to you because it sounds like there were some issues between you and this girl, and I think that there's probably a lot more to it that you could help explain.
Okay, I'm not sure exactly what you mean or what information you'd like.
Well, so it sounds like, it sounds like maybe he went out with this girl the other day, and maybe it sounds like from what he's saying that you were a little upset about it. And so that's why I kind of wanted to get your side of it, because that's not fair if he's just saying one thing and trying to go down a route, and I want to make sure that's not the case.
That is not accurate.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to chat with you, because it's a guy. He's going to say stuff. And so we want to make sure that we get both sides of the story and everything and clear it up. So what were you doing yesterday?
I would like to leave, I think.
You'd like to leave?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, if that's completely your choice, but understand if you do, then we only have one side of the story to go on.
Mm-hmm.
And from what we're hearing from Colin, you know, it's one side and it
Well, I just am uncertain as to even what you mean or what he could have said, because I didn't have any idea
exactly,
that he saw or went out with this girl.
Okay, yeah.
Recently.
Has he been like talking to her
I would
on
like
the
to
side?
leave. I
Okay.
don't actually know, and I would like to leave.
Okay. So that's totally your choice. And the door's open, you're welcome to leave. But again, that limits us to where we only have one side of the story.
Seeing that Caitlin is unwilling to open up, the detective decides to drop their bombshell evidence in hopes she might panic and crack.
And your vehicle was seen next to her house. And we needed to talk about that, okay? Because when he's saying this stuff and then your vehicle is seen, like, I want to be able to explain, okay, there's a logical explanation for this. Maybe you were upset and you were just in the area or something. Like, I don't know, because I don't have your story. Does that make sense? Because I want to be able to explain that. Okay, when I can't explain that and all I see is that your vehicle's over there, that kind of makes it look not too good, right? Okay, and then when we're talking to Colin and we're hearing like, yeah, there was some jealousy stuff going on, like, that doesn't sound very good. And so that's why I really want to get your side of the story, because maybe there's a lot more going on.
I would like to leave if I'm free to leave.
Okay. Is there any explanation as far as why the vehicle would be over there?
I would like to leave if I'm free to leave.
Okay. Hang tight for just a second. We can't have people just like walking around. So hang tight for just a second and then we'll get you out of here, okay?
Are they planning on driving me back?
Yeah, let me go check on how we're going to get you back and everything like that. If you change your mind, I would really like to get your side of the story, please, because sometimes, you know, emotions get raised, especially if a guy is doing something stupid. I totally get that. And that's, a lot of people can understand that. So that's something I would like to be able to talk with you about if you would be open to that.
I understand.
Okay. Hang tight for just a second.
By this point, officers had no way to stop Caitlin from walking out of the room. But if they couldn't get the answers from Caitlin, they'd have to turn to the one person who knew her best, Colin Strickland. In a twist of irony, Colin had bought Caitlin a gun for self-defense. But when police examined the firearm, they discovered something chilling. The bullets it used matched the same caliber found near Moriah's body. Now the cops had a growing list of evidence. Caitlin's car was at the scene, and she owned the exact type of gun used to kill Moriah. As they continued searching for Caitlin's whereabouts, the investigation started to reveal even more damning evidence. The cops analyzed all cell phone data and compared it with CCTV footage. This allowed them to map out the movements of Moriah, Colin, and Caitlin on the night of May 11th, 2022. After their swim, Colin and Moriah went to Poolburger around 7 p.m. What they didn't realize was that Caitlin was stalking them. Thinking she could cover her tracks, Caitlin turned off her cell phone, but surveillance footage caught her anyway. What the cameras revealed was chilling. A black Jeep, which we now know is Caitlin's, creeping toward the house where Moriah would soon be killed. Right after Colin left, a neighbor's doorbell camera recorded the heart-wrenching sound of Moriah screaming for her life before she was murdered. Colin's cell phone placed him driving away from the area before Moriah's death, and that cleared him as a suspect. This leaves Caitlin as the prime suspect. As the police sifted through their cell phones, they discovered Caitlin had downloaded a fitness app called Strava. Strava is a fitness app that is popular with cyclists and runners. It uses GPS to track physical activity. Moriah, too, used the app to log her bike rides and share them publicly. What the police uncovered next was unsettling. Caitlin had been using Strava to track Moriah's whereabouts, secretly stalking her in the hours leading up to the murder. Along with the mounting physical evidence, an anonymous caller came forward to help with the investigation. The caller, who knew both Colin and Caitlin, told the police that during a social gathering, Caitlin confided that she had recently discovered her boyfriend Colin was in a romantic relationship with Moriah while still dating her. Furious, Caitlin told the caller that she wanted to kill Moriah. Shaking with anger, she even mentioned that her having a gun. With this testimony and the overwhelming evidence, all signs pointed to Caitlin as Moriah's killer. Let's rewind and take a deeper look at the extraordinary life of Moriah Wilson, known to her friends and peers as Mo. She wasn't just a cyclist, she was a rising star, a potential Olympic contender, whose life was tragically cut short. Mo was born on May 18, 1996, in the small town of Kirby, Vermont. She grew up in a family of athletes. Her dad, Eric, was a former member of the U.S. ski team. Her mom, Karen, was an accomplished cyclist and instructor, and her aunt Laura was a two-time Olympic cross-country ski racer. Her brother, Matthew, was also very athletic. From a young age, Mo had dreams of becoming an Olympic skier, just like her dad and aunt. At only 8 years old, Mo entered her first ski race, and she often told her mom that one day, she'd wear one of those green Dartmouth ski suits. She went on to attend Burke Mountain Academy, a private school known for training some of the country's best alpine skiers, where every student dreams of reaching the Olympics. Mo's focus was clear: to follow in her family's footsteps and become a professional athlete. Cycling was a cross-training staple for skiers, and Mo soon became just as skilled on two wheels. Her talent for cycling stood out, and she excelled in various competitions. In 2014, after graduating from Burke Mountain, Mo enrolled at Dartmouth College, continuing her ski training while also majoring in engineering. Her performance in skiing was stellar, but it became clear that Mo's cycling skills were equally impressive. Her coach even wondered if she should pursue professional cycling instead, but Mo had her heart set on skiing. However, fate had other plans. During her sophomore year at Dartmouth, Mo tore her ACL while skiing, a devastating injury that would require months of recovery. During her recovery, Mo turned to cycling to maintain her fitness. But just as she made a comeback, disaster struck again. Mo tore her other ACL, leaving her with no choice but to step away from skiing for good. Mo had already built a strong foundation in cycling, and she quickly became a dominant force in the sport. After college, she traveled to Europe for a 3-week bike trip and fell in love with gravel cycling. In 2019, she won her first ever gravel race at the Old Growth Classic, clinching first place in the 19 to 29-year-old women's category. From then on, Mo's career took off. She continued to win major competitions and was recognized as one of the top cyclists in her field. In September 2021, Mo met Colin Strickland at a 4-day gravel race in Idaho. Colin was a legend in American gravel racing, having won several world championships. At the time, he had recently broken up with his longtime girlfriend, Caitlin Armstrong, a yoga teacher and real estate agent. By late October 2021, Mo and Colin had a romantic relationship, which led to a complicated situation when Colin and Caitlin reconciled shortly afterwards. In January 2022, Caitlin and Colin traveled together to a championship in Arkansas. That was when Mo saw the couple, and afterward she sent Colin a text message expressing her confusion about her relationship status with him. In April 2022, Mo participated in the prestigious Sea Otter Classic competition, winning the 80 kilometers race and solidifying her place as one of the world's top cyclists. By May 2022, Mo was staying with her friend Cash in Austin, Texas, preparing for another race scheduled for May 20th in Hico, Texas. But on May 10th, just days before the race, Mo sent a text to Colin asking if he was back in Austin. They planned to meet the next day, but this meeting would be her last. Just hours later, Mo was tragically shot dead by none other than Caitlin Armstrong. Once the police had pieced everything together and confirmed Caitlin was the killer, the only thing left to do was arrest her. But when they went to bring her in, they hit a major roadblock. Just hours before they cracked the case, Caitlin had managed to flee the country using a fraudulent passport, one that originally belonged to her sister. This move gave her the head start she needed. Police continued investigating, and they discovered Caitlin had sold her vehicle for a low price of $12,000 before she fled the country. By digging into Caitlin's digital trail, they also discovered she was hiding in Costa Rica, planning to work as a yoga instructor there. But the police weren't done yet. To draw Caitlin out of hiding, an officer posted an ad on social media looking for a local yoga teacher. And sure enough, Caitlin took the bait. She replied to the ad, agreeing to meet up. But in the month she'd been on the run, Caitlin had taken extreme measures to disguise herself. She had undergone multiple surgeries to alter her appearance. Yet when the arresting officer saw her, he immediately recognized her by her eyes. Caitlin was arrested and flown back to the United States to face charges for the murder of Moriah Wilson. But this wasn't the end of her attempts to escape. In October 2023, Caitlin tried once again to break free. While attending a doctor's appointment outside of jail, she managed to slip away, leaping from a bathroom window. However, she didn't get far. Within moments, she was captured once again. On November 16th, 2023, just over a year and a half after Moriah's tragic death, Caitlin Armstrong was found guilty of first-degree murder. She was sentenced to 90 years in prison for the cold-blooded murder of Moriah Wilson, finally facing the consequences of her actions. So what do you think of the case? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. And as always, stay safe, do something that makes you happy today, and I'll see you in the next one.